The Anker Prime charger is a powerful and versatile desktop charger designed to keep your devices powered up and ready to go. With its high-speed charging capabilities, multiple ports, and intelligent features, it's a convenient and efficient solution for busy professionals and tech enthusiasts. Its 250-watt output allows you to charge multiple devices simultaneously, including laptops and tablets. The 2.26-inch LCD display provides real-time feedback on charging status and speed, while the smart control dial allows you to personalize charging for each device. With its sleek design and compact size, the Anker Prime charger is a must-have accessory for anyone who values convenience and efficiency. So I've had tons of desktop charging stations over the years, but I've never had one quite as sophisticated as the Anker Prime power station. Because not only does it support up to 250 watts of total output, so you can charge up anything including a 16-inch MacBook Pro, your iPhone, your charging pad, you name it, just plug it all in and it'll intelligently send the power to each device as needed, but it also has an LCD display so you can control all the different features and customize it to your liking, and it even has a smartphone app so you can control it whether you're at home or on the go. It does have a total of 6 different ports, including 4 USB Type-C and 2 USB-A ports, and it is a GaNPrime power station, so you know we're getting that compact size along with all the power that you need. Very nice looking packaging here. And this can really be used to charge literally any USB device. Inside the box, we do have a beefy power cable, a little quick start guide giving you the ins and outs of the charger, a safety sheet, as well as the Anker Prime power station itself. Let's remove this paper. Has some good weight to it, feels very solid in the hands, and looks fantastic. Very good size, and remember, this has all that smart capability along with 250 watts of output. So now if we actually take a look at the design here, I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera, but it does have a nice textured pattern on it, so it's very grippy to hold. It also does look fantastic. Now over here on the right side, we do have a knob that allows you to control the different settings. It is tactile, so as you can hear, when you turn it, it does make audible clicks, along with the 2 USB-A ports. But keep in mind, USB-A ports aren't super high powered, so if you want to actually charge quickly, we have the 4 USB Type-C ports on the front, along with that nice 2.26-inch LCD display with all the different functions. Over on the left side, we have nothing but that texturized pattern, very nice, and over on the back we do have the power port. Down on the bottom we do have 2 rubber strips here to keep it nice and in place on any surface, and it is very strong. And of course on top, Anker. So now getting the setup is actually literally plug and play, very simple. We just got to get this power cable, which is a very good length, plug it in the back, and get it plugged into some power. And as you can see, the LCD display has lit up and it does look very nice. It's got really good black levels too. If I couldn't tell just ever so slightly, I would think it was an OLED panel. Now taking a look at the display, as you can see, we do have a Wi-Fi icon up here on the top left that also will turn into a Bluetooth icon depending on the connection that you choose. Right here, smack dab in the middle, we do have the total output of power. Right now, as you can see, we are at 0.0, but it will update in real time depending on what you have connected and how much power is being drawn. As you can see, we do have the 4 USB-C ports on the front, and we do have this little blue line here that you can actually switch between them. And once you get to one, you can actually push the button in and go to the different settings of it. As you can see, we can turn port priority on to prioritize this port to give out the maximum amount of power and take away power from these ones as needed. And you can even see how much voltage, amps, and watts is being used by each individual port simply by going into them, just like so. Very, very cool. Of course, as we keep going, we do come to the USB-A port settings as well. They are combined, and there's not really much you can do here except for see how much power is being drawn. Once we go back, we can actually keep going over to the right and go to the settings icon, and over here we can actually adjust different settings for the unit, including brightness. By default it's at 60, but we can go all the way down to 20 if you want it darker, or go all the way up to 100 if you want it brighter. We can also adjust the screen timeout to have the screen automatically turn off, all the way down to 30 seconds and all the way up to always on, so it never turns off. We also do have mode here, so we have AI power mode, which actually intelligently choose how much power to send out to each port by itself. We also do have port priority mode to prioritize a certain port for maximum power, as well as dual laptop mode and low current mode. Of course, we also have knob orientation depending on how you want to turn the knob. I think I like it on backwards, that way it goes the way I'm turning it. So I'm gonna leave it on that. We also do have Wi-Fi, so you can connect to Wi-Fi, but we'll do that with the app in a second. We also have a screensaver here, so you can have it turn off the screen, go to a clock, and then we also have an option to reset the unit. Very cool, we can go back and back to the home screen. So as you can see, it's very easy to use. You can actually control everything you need to on the device itself. But if you want to make it a little bit more smart, we are gonna get into the app. So in order to do that, we're going to go into our app store and download the Anker app and open it up. Once you have your account and everything set up, we're going to be inside of the app and be able to add the device. It's going to search for the Bluetooth, and as you can see, it instantly found it. 250 watt prime charger. We're going to tap on that, and it's going to connect to the app and get everything set up for us. As you can see, it connected in a matter of about 10 seconds. You can name it whatever you want, and we can choose to use Bluetooth, so you can only use it when you're within Bluetooth range, or if you want to get super technical here, we can connect to Wi-Fi and control it from anywhere, literally, anywhere. So we're going to use Wi-Fi. It does only work with 2.4 gigahertz network, so keep that in mind. And now we're going to get it connected to our Wi-Fi network. And while it's connecting, as you can see, we do have the Bluetooth icon here because we are connected with Bluetooth. But of course, now that we're connected to Wi-Fi, it did switch over to the Wi-Fi indicator. So next we're going to tap on done. And as you can see, this is actually pretty crazy. We have a firmware update for a power station. I like that. So let's actually get that installed. While it is updating, as you can see, we even have the indication right on the unit itself. And about 10 minutes later, we do have the latest firmware installed, so let's get back into the app. So as you can see, the app is very simple and straightforward and to the point, very beautifully designed. As you can see, we have the 4 USB Type-C outputs along with the 2 USB-A outputs, and it'll show you real-time statistics on each port. But of course, looking at this blank screen isn't doing anything for anybody, so let's actually start plugging stuff into here so we can get everything rocking and rolling. All right, to start off, I have my 16-inch MacBook Pro. We'll get that plugged in. And it instantly did start drawing power, and it is rising. Very nice. I have an Android phone here. Let's plug that in. I might as well even plug in my Apple Watch. Why not? Let's get this charged up a bit. We'll get this massage gun plugged in with the USB-A cable. It's charging. Let's get these headphones plugged into the USB-C port. And finally, let's actually get my iPhone 16 Pro Max plugged in with the USB-C port. So now, as you can see, we have 6 devices plugged in and charging simultaneously through the USB-A ports as well as the USB-C ports. We have every interface being used right now. As you can see, we are currently drawing a total output of 106 watts of electricity, because if you know anything about batteries, the lower the battery charge is, the faster it'll actually charge each device. But if we take a look at this, we can see the USB-C 1 port, which has the 16-inch MacBook Pro plugged into it, is currently drawing 63 watts. We have the second USB Type-C port with the iPhone 16 Pro Max plugged in, and it's charging at about 28 watts. We have the third USB-C port with these headphones plugged in, charging at 1.5 watts. We have the fourth USB-C plug plugged into an Android phone, charging at 23.5 watts. And then of course we have USB-A1, which is for this massage gun, charging at 8 watts, and USB-A2 charging the Apple Watch at about 1 watt. So as you can see, it's doing everything intelligently, charging as quickly as possible for each individual device. So now if we scroll down, we do have the real-time data. You can see the current output is 115.6 watts, and you can see the graph of the line going up and down depending on when the power increases and decreases. We also do have charging mode, of course, so we can do AI power, which is on already, or change it to whatever we need depending on what we're charging. But then if we go all the way down to the bottom, we do have switch control. So this is where things get kind of smart, and you definitely want to have the app if you want to do this. You can actually turn the port off. So we're on USB-C 1, I'm going to turn it off. Boom. Just like that, it stops charging the laptop. As you can see, everything else is still charging, but the laptop itself is not charging whatsoever. But now, we can actually go back down, turn it back on, and we can actually set a timer. So you can actually have it automatically stop charging after a certain amount of time. So that way, if you want to only charge up to a certain percentage or something, you could stop it after about an hour. We also do have power schedule, so you can actually power it to only turn on and off at certain times and certain days. So that's actually very cool, very customizable. Of course, if we go to the top right, we do have a gear icon, so we can actually go through all the different settings of the unit itself, including charging mode, secret features. Oh, it looks like you get little achievements, so that's actually pretty cool. I got everything connected, so it's like, hey, you're using everything, get this achievement. Okay. We have the screen brightness, the screen timeout, screen off display, the knob orientation, test features, pretty much the same stuff they can do on the unit itself, but a bit easier because you're using the app. So like I said, you're able to do most of the stuff from the app on the unit itself. So if we actually grab the unit and take a look at it, you can see right in the middle, it does show us how much power is being used, and we even have this little line here. So you can see we're using about half of the total of 250 watts of power. As you can see each individual port and how much power they're using, and we can go between them all, even all the way over to the USB-A port, seeing that they're using nearly 10 watts of power themselves. and we can actually go into each port. So for example, we can go to USB-C port 1, and we can see port priority and turn that on or off if we want to. You know what? I might as well just turn it on right now. Let's do it. So as you can see, it changed to here. Now it's giving priority to that port, so it'll always have enough power for that port specifically. Right underneath, we can see how much the maximum wattage of power through this port is. And then over on the right side, we can see how much power is actually being drawn right now. But the cool thing is, depending on how many things you have in here, it can actually draw some more power. So take a look at this. As you can see, this port is maxed out at 100 watts of power because we have everything loaded up. But if we start taking stuff out, as you can see, it did go up to 140 watts of maximum power, so it can actually charge that much faster because it's not sharing all the electricity with other ports. Of course, this also changes based on the device. So if we go back, of course, if we go to USB Type-C port 2, which is for the iPhone, it's maxed out at 45 watts of power, which is actually insanely fast for a phone. And then if we go over to the USB-A ports, we can see they're maxed out at 15 watts of power. So now let me just get everything plugged back inside and let it all charge up. And as you can see, as you plug stuff in, it does give you a little cool animation that shows you that it's starting to charge. So as you can see, the Anker 250 watt prime charging station for desktop use is fantastic. It has a very nice design, very strong and durable with a ton of power, and it's highly customizable for all your devices while also being smart so it doesn't overcharge the devices and gives it the maximum allowed power for each individual device. I really like that I'm able to charge up my 16-inch MacBook Pro while I'm using it, charge up my iPhone and all my other accessories at the same time without any issue, while also controlling them to my liking or letting it just use AI technology to do it all by itself. Very nice charger, very small and compact, looks fantastic, love the screen, and it'll be perfect on anybody's desk.